покажи, що там за шапка. Ванькина шапка.
In yet another sign that Russian combat losses are far higher than officials are willing to admit, representatives of the Wagner private military company, a quasi-state force close to the Kremlin, are now recruiting volunteers from among prisoners in Russia's penal institutions. They are promising prisoners 200,000 rubles, $3,000 for 6 months service and cancellation of the remainder of their sentences, and they are told that their families will receive a payment of 5 million rubles, $70,000 in the event of their deaths, an outcome they are warned is entirely possible. In reporting this development, Moscow historian Boris Sokolov notes that what Putin is doing now represents a revival of a policy Stalin used during World War II. More than 975,000 prisoners and approximately 1 million special settlers were sent to the front, forming approximately 5% of the Red Army. No data are public available as to how many of these former prisoners and special settlers died, but the percentage almost certainly was higher than the 60% of all Soviet citizens in uniform who did, given that such people were often used as cannon fodder during that conflict too, and put in harm's way more often to spare other units. One group that was not recruited by Stalin were political prisoners. They were not allowed to escape their time in the camps by fighting in the front lines. That too is likely to be a tradition that even an increasingly hard-pressed Vladimir Putin is unlikely to violate in the future. Russia's defense ministry is now counting on prison inmates and shipyard workers to serve as fresh cannon fodder. The desperate new recruiting drive has been reported in St. Petersburg, where the families of inmates at 2 prisons say the Wagner Group, a private Russian military force that has been tied to the Kremlin, is offering prisoners money and a get-out-of-jail-free card to go search for Nazis in Ukraine. They told my relative, it's very hard to find the Nazis there, and they are very well prepared. You will be at the forefront in helping to detect Nazis, so not everyone will return. At first they said about 20% would come back. Then that almost nobody will return. Those who survive are promised 200,000 rubles in amnesty. And if someone dies, they promise to pay their family 5 million rubles. This is all only in words, nothing is fixed on paper, an unnamed relative of one of the inmates told the outlet. At least 40 inmates signed up to join the war at that prison, the relative said. The inmates, after being urged to defend the motherland, were reportedly told it would look like they were being transferred, but they'd be dropped off at the border with Ukraine. Wagner is recruiting people. No one is hiding that, the prison foremen are saying that directly, the inmate's relative said. Family members of another inmate who agreed to join the war said he'd done so because he genuinely believed he'd have his conviction expunged and be free upon his return. But it seems the recruiters aren't really expecting any of the inmates to make it back alive. Relatives of an inmate at a separate prison said the men were told they'd be sent into the war without any identification documents. Workers at 2 St. Petersburg shipyards managed by the state-owned United Shipbuilding Corporation and sanctioned oligarch Alisher Usmanov's Metallinvest have also reportedly been targeted as part of a recruiting drive by Russia's defense ministry. The Moscow Times Russian service reported Tuesday that workers at the Admiralty and the Baltic shipyards were offered contracts with monthly salaries of 300,000 rubles, $5,300, to go fight in Ukraine. They offered it to those with good experience, age has nothing to do with it. For example, they gave a call-up notice to one older employee who went through the Second Chechen War, one of the employees told the Times. Workers at Lebedynsky Mining and Processing Works in Belgorod, owned by Usmanov's Metallinvest, described similar efforts, though the company has denied that. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.